In this video, we're going to look at how we can successfully manage the monkey mind and begin feeling more positive, confident and relaxed, leading to greater happiness, success and contentment. We've learned that our mind cannot tell the difference between real life and imagination, so that when we think of something that was frightening, we feel frightened, because our brain is releasing the appropriate neurochemicals for the event it believes is happening now. You're all experienced at doing this with negative thoughts, so you've proved that it works. So why not switch things around and deliberately focus on positive thoughts whilst practicing a technique called inner rehearsal? Imagine you have a test or interview coming up and you think about it 100 times, each time imagining yourself anxious and expecting to fail. How will you feel on the actual day? Now imagine that you've thought 100 times about waking up on the morning of the event, feeling relaxed and confident, knowing that you're going to do the best you can. How will you feel on the day now? Remember those two words I mentioned in the last video: responsibility and discipline. You are responsible for how you think, so you are responsible for how you feel. And whilst I can share these techniques for success and happiness with you, if you want to experience the benefits, you must be disciplined enough to practice them. But whilst practicing inner rehearsal can make a huge difference, responsibility and discipline also applies to physically doing the things we need to do. And now I want to share with you a method of practicing mindful awareness that could transform your life if you're prepared to practice and master the technique. We haven't actually introduced you to your monkey yet, so please meet Pablo. Now, as we've learned, Pablo is quite amazing. He has lightning speed reactions. He can spot danger a mile off. He's fearless and he can save your life. But he is, after all, just a young, excitable monkey. And if you listen to him all the time, you will suffer. Pablo is impatient. He wants everything now. He's selfish. He cares only about himself. He always thinks he's right and other people are wrong. He wants things his way and gets easily frustrated if he has to do things he doesn't want. He's never really satisfied or content, always wanting things to be different from the way that they are. And he continually jumps from one thought to another as if swinging from branch to branch. And as a result of his obsessive nature, impatience and negative thinking, he can quickly get anxious, stressed or angry, or depressed, or more accurately, you can. So the first step in taking back control is to become aware of when Pablo is on the loose. So from now on, I want you to notice when you're getting stressed, anxious, angry, or really anything other than relaxed and happy. And when you become aware, remember Pablo. P is for pause. When you become aware you're getting stressed, simply pause what you're thinking, saying, or doing. A is for acceptance. Notice that when you're triggered, you're resisting either what's happening at that moment or what you're thinking at that moment. You want something to be different than it is, but the stress you're feeling in that moment is not being caused by the event. It's being caused by your resistance to it. It may be that something unpleasant is involved, but understand I'm not asking you to accept that it's okay for something unpleasant to happen to you. I'm asking you to accept that this is how it is in this moment. And when we fully accept reality without resistance, tension and stress reduce. B is for breathe. When we get triggered, we tend to hold our breath or take shallow breaths, which can starve our brains of oxygen, which leads to the monkey getting more panicky. Also, we tend to focus on the perceived problem in our mind, which makes the problem seem bigger. So take a long breath in through your nose, counting to 3 in your mind. Then hold that breath counting to 3 in your mind. Then breathe out through your mouth, counting to 3 in your mind. Then hold again for 3, then repeat, doing this for 3 complete breath cycles. Taking deep, long breaths is really important to oxygenate the brain and calm your monkey. Counting in your mind is also really important because the part of your brain that was focusing on the problem is also the part of your brain that does the counting, and it can't do both at the same time. L is for look. Now that you're calmer, look again at what was causing your stress, whether a thought or a real-life event, and ask yourself these 2 questions. Is there something I can do to change this situation, or is there nothing I can do? If there is something you can do, create a clear intention in your mind to do what can be done to change what can be changed, and visualize yourself doing it successfully. But when there is nothing you can do to change the situation, you must learn to practice acceptance. It is as it is. There's an old saying, if you have a problem but there's a solution to your problem, there's no need to worry. However, if you have a problem but there's no solution to your problem, there is no point in worrying. The key to this part of the technique is once again responsibility and discipline. By taking responsibility, you become empowered to either do something or accept that nothing can be done. You have the power to choose, and either way, you become free of stress. O is for own. When you blame some person or situation or event for how you're feeling, you are giving away power over your emotions, which means your happiness and contentment will always be determined by outside influences. Imagine for a moment that how you feel was controlled by an app, and that you'd given permission for anyone to use the app. One person might make you annoyed, another person might make you frustrated, and then make you angry. You may quite like the idea of an app for other people's emotions, but I doubt very much that you're so keen on others controlling you. Yet that is precisely what you allow if you don't own your emotions, by taking full responsibility for how you feel. But when you take responsibility and manage your monkey mind, you empower yourself to become more positive, confident, and relaxed.